Hey, everyone.
Oh, hey,
yeah.
Whoa,
I feel like I
whoa.
kind of like jumped into that, you know?
Yeah, dude. You totally jumped in with enthusiasm, and I'm just still kind of sitting here feeling, the back-breaking load of the workday resting on my shoulders.
Oh, yeah. I'm off work. You're working too much. This is great.
Yeah?
Like, I've had off for the past 2 days.
Oh, damn.
And, like, don't know what to do. I literally today walked 7.5 miles because I was bored.
That's dope. I mean, that's a good thing to do when you're bored, because usually like working too little or working too much results in like boozing really heavily, and it's a much healthier alternative to just sitting around boozing to alleviate boredom.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do booze at night.
Oh,
but definitely 100%.
Keep it to after dark though.
Yeah, I wait till the sun goes down like a vampire, and then I drink and become this terrible monster that no one wants to be around.
Come out to feed. Just fucking slurping down Jim Beam honey, like, yeah, sustenance.
Well, no, like I've literally drank every day for the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been working for those 2 weeks, other than the past 2 days, and I feel like now I've like beat alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how you get to that point where it's like I've got if you're wrestling an alligator, you know, and like you find like you got it and you got the duct tape around its mouth. That's what I feel about alcohol right now.
You've successfully duct taped your addiction.
Yes.
Yeah,
like there's definitely like there was a couple year period where like that alligator was fucking barrel rolling me.
Oh, dude, I was getting death rolled hardcore a couple years ago. I feel you.
Like, there was, so many instances of, like, drinking to excess. Little known fact about me, every time I get drunk, my shirt comes off.
Yeah, like I knew that fact.
Yeah, you know that fact. But, like...
Oh, that's a phone call. From Snapchat.
Uh-oh.
Isn't that great that they can call you from Snapchat and it rings on your actual phone?
That's awful.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
What, does it show you like a 10-second video of someone farting?
No, you can group FaceTime people. I mean, like, that's ostensibly
from
a cool
Snapchat?
feature. Yeah, from Snapchat, but it's like people from other sides of the country that I only talk to via Snapchat. It's a weird thing.
So strange.
It's friends from college.
Yeah, anyway, so I'm getting drunk, right? And... yeah. But like it's like my go-to move. Like if you're a terrible dancer, you always have the worm, you always have the Carlton. My go-to move when drinking is to take my shirt off.
Oh.
And I don't think I've ever told it on this podcast before of the story of Austin.
Oh, like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, me and him got in a fucking fight.
That's dope.
No, so it was. I was in this improv troupe, and we went to Austin for a show, and it just so happened to be my birthday.
Big combo, dude.
Yeah, so I was like, fuck yeah, after this show, we're going to get fucking annihilated.
Mm-hmm.
So before the show, I start like just having like regular singles. I'm like, I don't want to be too shit house for the show. Like I'm a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And but I did bring a fifth of Captain Morgan to the theater. Mm-hmm. And after the show, it was a fun show. It was a great time. I had a fun experience. And then for some reason, the word got out that it was my birthday, because it was kind of just like, let's leave, go to a bar, and celebrate my birthday.
But then you got thronged by people who were like, it's your birthday, drink with me.
Yes. So I got into 3 different chugging contests. Mm-hmm. With beer I didn't like, but I had to, I'm a man. I got to win chugging contests,
yeah, dude.
And everyone, so we go to this bar, and I've never been to this bar before, and the second I walk in, I get 2 doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Like immediately. Like just in my double fisting.
Naturally.
And spoiler alert, before this, I used to have this drink called a half and half. It was a 32-ounce Buc-ee's mug that I would fill half with Captain Morgan and half with Diet Coke.
Yeah.
So I like did the math, and it would only take 3 of these for a whole fifth of of Captain Morgan. Yeah.
You're just making quintuple shots at a time.
Pretty much, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. That is a good way to get fucked up.
So I had 2 of these before we even got to this bar. So I'm already drunk when we get to this bar. And then 2 doubles get put in my hand. I immediately house those because I was like, thanks. And then 2 more get put in my hand. So at this point, I am like blackout drunk. And so the rest of the story is all from other people telling me what happened the next day. I immediately took off my shirt, and I was wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt, which is pretty funny.
Very nice.
You brought him up. See?
Oh.
You see? So I immediately take off my shirt, and I'm dancing on the stage of this bar. And the whole time I was like turning to the people I knew, and I was like, hey, do you think it's cool if I took off my pants?
Yeah.
Because it's hot in here.
Yeah, I mean,
and then they were like, I don't see why not. And I was like, yeah, well, that guy's wearing a kilt. That's kind of like not wearing a pants. So whatever. So,
dude, all you got to do is scream, keep Austin weird. And everybody's down with it.
Everyone's like, fuck yeah.
It's kind of like screaming, let's say, Le Bon Temps Roulette in New Orleans, dude. You can do anything you want.
You will get carried out on people's shoulders if you say that in New Orleans.
Dude, it's amazing. I do it pretty much every weekend. Except I'm not drunk. I don't really drink like that.
So I take off my pants, but I don't take them all the way off. They're just at my ankles. So if you're seeing this from like someone else's perspective, it's just a guy who looks like he just got beat up and someone pantsed him.
Yeah, you're wearing the fucking proverbial lampshade.
Yeah, I'm just like, what's up, guys? Fucking dancing my ass off. And then finally, I was like, I gotta have a cigarette. Like, this is too weird. So I go, I pull my pants all the way up, and then I still no shirt. And I walk to the bar and I was like, can I get a double? I have a double for outside. So I'm outside and they have another stage where they're like doing more of like classic hip hop. Like in the inside they were doing like 90s and 80s like pop and shit like that. But outside they were doing like classic hip hop. So I was outside shirtless by myself, and these the people that we were with met me outside, and they're like, "Hey man, I heard it's your birthday. What can we do to make this a great birthday?" And I was like, "I don't know, man, it's a pretty good birthday as it is." But I said that Biggie Smalls died on my 7th birthday.
Yeah.
Or 6th birthday, 1997, which is my 6th birthday. He did.
Yeah.
So
true story.
This girl comes back and she's like, I got the perfect gift for you. Just listen. And then Biggie Smalls comes on. So I start bawling, crying.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. And like to the point where I'm thinking this is like some universe telling me that I need to be a hip hop artist.
Okay.
That's because that's what I was like, he died on my 6th birthday, and I think I should be a hip hop artist. And they're all just like, sure, why not?
So you went to the studio and
I went to the studio and then I made the Carter 3.
Holy shit, that was you! Oh my god, I thought I recognized you.
Hello, my name is Lil Wayne.
Oh man.
So we leave this bar. And I'm just stumbling. I tried to fight a mailbox at one point. Like I start punching it. I think I almost broke my hand. And all of a sudden, I feel myself start falling forward. I was like, what the fuck's happening? I had tripped over this like construction sign. And dude, when I tell you that my face could not have slid on the ground more like a hockey puck. I was just like still walking as I'm on the ground, like pushing my face onto the ground. Dude. And I have like scratches on my face.
Drinking is so fucking glamorous, dude.
It's so badass.
It's
dude.
So rad, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining you dressed like fucking like Leonardo DiCaprio in The Great Gatsby, just looking badass as fuck.
Yes,
dude.
I had a martini glass.
Cheersing like the meme, baby.
I'm looking over at that green light, which is a green light, and I probably shouldn't walk into the street.
Yeah, exactly.
But we have a guest today.
Oh.
I don't know if you knew. He's coughing up a storm right now.
Coffin Texas Ranger.
Hell yeah.
Put him in a coffin.
He's a Texas Ranger.
Because he's a Texas Ranger.
Yeah.
So, do you want to introduce our guest?
Yeah. His name is Charlie Davis. He's a fucking hilarious comedian. Lives here in New Orleans just like us. And he's graced us with his presence on our show today.
Well,
yeah.
Hey, thanks for letting me come smoke pot on your balcony.
You're welcome. Yeah.
That's probably why I'm coughing.
Yeah.
We
Hey,
smoke
Mom.
up there all the time.
And Dad.
My favorite is like you started in the house after
Yeah,
already doing it,
felt-
and you're like, "Is this cool?"
Oh no.
Well, because, yeah.
It should be. By all accords, it should be fine. And I just
Right,
I
right.
don't know my neighbors, and I'm like, are they gonna fucking be like, they're smoking weed up there? Like I said, I thought I saw a bong through their window, but I don't want to go right up to the window and peek in and have them
Right.
walk out and be like, this guy's peeking through our window.
Yeah. Hi, and you just wave like really like, oh, hi. And you explain the situation like, hey, just wanted to see if you were cool with weed, was looking to see, look like bongs, but they turned out to be flower vases, and I'm sorry, I saw you and your wife during coitus. I'll go.
Hey, just pretend like I didn't see it because I'm gonna repress it immediately.
Yep.
I mean, like the only really complaint you can have as a neighbor of somebody who smokes weed is the smell.
But it's temporary. It's
Yeah.
temporary versus like I had a grandmother who smoked like from I want to say her teenage years to her dying days, and like we'd go into Grandma Gangi's house, and you would just like you go into her room and you just like smell it. She's like just would spray. Oh, just
Yeah.
remember the type of Lysol. I'm like, Grandma, you still smoking? No, not at all. Like no.
Very distinct, like mixed smell too.
Yeah.
My grandpa did that shit with cigars, and I'm like, dude, it gets in everything. You can't cover that up. Like, come
Yeah.
on, just own that you smoke. Like,
Right.
You're old.
Yeah, but it's not like I mean, in terms of smells, it's not a bad smell.
No.
It's a specific smell. Don't get me wrong.
Right. That's a good smell. Yeah.
The burps are great smell. No, but it's like that's like I mean, my wife says all the time how she's allergic to weed smoke,
Right.
and I think that she should just say I don't like the smell. Like I've never seen her once have like an allergic reaction to weed smoke.
Because there are no known allergies to it. You can develop an allergy to anything if you try.
Yeah.
But like,
like glue.
like your genes are like, I want to be allergic to weed, and you know.
Yeah.
But like,
That's what my dad says, dude. He says I'm allergic to work.
yeah, no,
I'm saying?
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, when did you like? Or my dad, like, man, where did you get that lazy bone from? Like, who'd you inherit the lazy bones from?
Part of the bone store,
Like,
Dad.
yeah. My dad's accent is not as heavy as I make it. He has a master's degree and is an intelligent fellow.
Do the same shit to my dad. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah, your dad sounds like Hank Hill. So have you ever had a story of drunkenness? How do you feel about booze? What's your
I'm very okay with it. I will preface by saying like I grew up Presbyterian and Baptist, so like
so you're a heavy drinker.
well, like yeah. Oh man, it's like but like, and that's a weird like denominational like in terms of the church and dynamic, because like Presbyterians, like my uncle is a Presbyterian minister, and like it has the nicest whiskey selection.
Yeah.
And then on my dad's side, that's my mom's side. On my dad's side of the family, like Baptist, and like definitely a good portion of my family drinks, but my grandma is a lovely, like devout woman,
Right.
and like no drinking. Like my favorite story about her is she, my great aunt or someone was getting married. They were planning the reception at the Baptist church, and like my great aunt Mary, basically said, Beryl, I need you to go in there, and they were making some sort of punch with like Sprite and Coke and like the soda.
Oh, dude,
and
the royal flush, dude.
yeah. But and then like options for people to have. Well, my aunt, like as a joke, my great aunt Mary, she just like said like wild turkey, and my grandma was like, "What's wild turkey?" And my great aunt was like, "It's a soda." So like she goes into Broom's grocery store in Ocean Springs, and one of the guys helping her, I guess like she taught Sunday school for like 55 years. Like this is like a lady you respect. Like if you deal with like kids on a Sunday morning where most people like don't want to deal with kids. Like you deserve like all the respect and love in the world. And she like is a genuine, I love her to death. But like she goes into this grocery store and she gets like the Coke, the Sprite, Diet Coke, Tab because it's the 70s. And and then she like can't find wild turkey. She's going up and down like the aisle, the soda aisle and brooms, just like looking for it. And she now this story definitely, I'm going to talk about me being drunk at some point, but I promise. So stay tuned. But basically she couldn't find it, and she went to like one of the clerks, grocery store clerks, and she knew him. She's like, "Hey, I can't find this soda." And he was like, "Oh, Miss Beryl, it's not a soda. Come with me." And they started walking to like the alcohol section, and she apparently was like, "Oh no!" Oh, and was just pissed. So it's like you have like that half, and I just preface by saying like half of my family is like very about drinking, the other half is like secretive drinking.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say like I don't know, just I'd talk about like the most drunk I've ever been, or like an interesting like.
What's the
story?
So let's do the most drunk you've ever been. Because those are usually pretty. If it's not interesting,
no. It's
kinda, always interesting.
It kind of is like in the sense I crashed a prom, like I crashed my little brother's prom party.
Nice.
That he was at. So like I was 19. I was like living in Oxford. I went to Christian college my first semester. Hated it. Was back in town. Taking core. I grew up in Oxford, Mississippi, where Ole Miss is, and then getting my core out of the way, and then I transferred to Southern Miss. So Oxford is a like big drinking town, just like New Orleans. And that was a burp from the water. I'm not drunk. Sure. Yeah, wink, wink.
We've all been drinking a ton.
Yeah, Malay Bon Ton. Cinnabon.
That's it. We got to carry you out now.
Yeah, exactly. So I was at my friend Lindsay Dillon McGinnis's birthday party, and she and her boyfriend at the time, Will, at their apartment. It was like a shitty college apartment.
Right. And
we were all, me, Peyton Weems, Alex Hardberger, and I'm totally outing these people. Hey guys, thanks for listening. We're drinking Hunch Punch, and we're playing Captain Dickhead with Hunch Punch. And for people listening, if you don't know what Hunch Punch is, it's basically Hunch Punch. Oh shit. Okay. Well, so
please tell us.
Or it's like it's basically like panty droppers, Bayou Punch. It's basically Everclear, and then any of like the juice, the fruit juices you can find, like
jungle juice.
Yeah, big jungle juice.
Hell yeah,
you know,
dude.
Regionalisms. North Mississippi is
South Louisiana.
Hunch Punch.
It's so different.
What's that?
Hunch Punch.
Yeah, dude.
Like like in German it's Haunch Pouch, but and Haunch Pouch. So that was being served, and it was like basically like 2 or 3 bottles of Everclear in a cooler mixed with like fruit chunks and like Sunny D Tropical. And it's like the shittiest sangria, but you know. So we were drinking those and playing Captain Dickhead or Ring of Fire. It's the card game where whatever face of card you draw, like 2 is you drink for you, 3 for me, 4 for horse, 5 for whatever.
I thought that was Captain Dickhead.
It's like there's so many regionalisms in drinking.
Yeah, I've heard different people define them as different things. Ring of Fire, I will say, fucking owns, dude. That's a fun ass drinking game. Ride the Bus, also a good one. I don't know if you guys fuck with that.
Oh, it's like you keep doing the face until you get to
fucking going, dude.
Yeah. Hey, mom. So basically, we're drinking like high grade, like 100% proof alcohol mixed with juice, like fast, because we're like 19, 20. Yeah. Like right. I'm a year out of high school, and like the class behind me's senior prom and junior prom was going on, so we're all like drinking heavily, playing Captain Dickhead, and word gets around that the prom is at I believe either Sam Samples or Duncan Bassett's house, just right down the road, downtown Oxford. So we're all like, let's go. So we go, and like, I see like everybody, I went to high school with. I mean, they're all still in high school, and Maggie White was there. Maggie White. Hey Maggie. Hey Maggie.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so I think you were there. Tell me if I'm wrong, Maggie. But she's not here. But anyways, so yeah, like we get there and like everything's fine. My brother's there. He's like, "What are you doing?" And he doesn't sound like that really, but like, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, we're here. What are you doing,
Charlie? What are you doing here?"
Hi, I'm British.
Yeah.
So Carrie Joe is his name.
Carrie Joe. That's the most southern name I've ever heard.
Carrie Joseph. He was supposed to be. I think like my mom really wanted a girl, and he was supposed to, I don't know if he was supposed to be a girl or something, but like.
And there was like we cannot lean away from Carrie Joe.
No, well, it was Carrie. So it was going to be Carrie Ann. My mom's main name is Carrie.
Oh.
So Carrie Joe.
My mom's name is Carrie.
That's a good name.
Carrie Lee, dude.
Carrie Lee. Sarah Lee's cousin.
Yeah.
Exactly. But she. Anyways, like he was there, like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, just having fun," and everyone's having a good time. And then we start walking back towards the house, and that's when it's just whoop 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 whoop, like
that's my favorite part of drinking.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just like your body's just like nope.
Fucking enter bullet time.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It was dubstep. Like our body shutting down from alcohol poisoning was dubstep before dubstep was dubstep, like that. Whoop 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 whoop. Jeez. All right. Robots are attacking us.
Oh, yeah.
So like we get back and like I don't even go in the house. I'm like, they had a little deck, and Oxford's very hilly, so it was like overlooking a hill. So I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna like hang outside." They're like, "You okay?" And I'm like, "Nope," and just like I like said the word and projectile vomited at the same time, like over the deck, and like, no! And Lindsay was like, "Okay, we'll do what you need to do." And I'm like, I'm out there, and I'm just like puking my guts up, and then I like lay down, and then I pass out outside, and then I don't know for how long. Peyton Weems or like somebody gets me from outside, and they bring me in, and it was like Will's music room, and everyone was equally just as drunk. And so I guess next thing I know, like I'm passed out in this music room. And so next thing I know, I wake up, and apparently this is how drunk I was. I was so drunk, apparently I didn't have a pulse or something.
What?
Because
Holy
Lindsay,
shit.
I wake up, and like Lindsay Dillon, she is, or Dima G, she is like putting her fingers like on my neck, checking for my pulse. She's like, "Charlie, oh my god," but she's also just as drunk, like trying to
find a pulse.
And like she's like, oh my god, are you okay? Like I guess she wasn't like pressing in the right spot, and I was so drunk that I also happened to have one of my first out-of-body experiences. So I think I'm actually dead. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm not. And apparently, like, I'm shouting at her, and she's like, "Oh, you're alive!" And
Straight up astral projected.
no, I didn't puke at her. No, like that. No, I'm just like shouting at her, like, "No, I'm not dead. I hope I'm not dead." Like, "Oh my god, I'm dead."
Oh god,
that's fucking scary.
Yeah. And it was, I will never deal with Everclear again.
Yeah, man. The shit's bad. It's bad news.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I don't know if I've ever had Everclear before.
Have you ever had a margarita from Superior Grill?
Yes.
You've had Everclear, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
It's just
We've had
just
margaritas from Superior Grill.
pure grain.
Yeah.
Pure grain. Well, it's like, everyone, excuse me. Everyone has that alcohol that you can no longer drink because you drank it so much in college and you got the drunkest you've ever been on in your life.
Jack Daniels.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's yours.
Mine was Evan Williams, but I waited 10 years and now I can drink it again.
Oh, it's a good time period.
Yeah, dude.
I can't drink Jack Daniels. I can't even smell Jack Daniels without throwing up.
Like
We're not throwing up, but like gagging.
Oh, it's and it's just, it triggers. It's a nasal trigger for sure.
Yeah, I mean, scent is like the biggest like memory, whatever the fuck. I'm not smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know either.
None of us are psychologists.
Both looked at you like, do you have it? And you're like, nope.
Yeah, let me Google it real quick. I'll be back in 15.
All right, we're back. We still don't have it.
Yeah, we don't have it at all.
So you have any stories?
Oh, man, I was trying to think. I mean, I have a lot, and I was trying to think of one that didn't make me sound like a fucking awful human being.
Yeah.
Here's a good one.
Okay,
so one time on my birthday at Harrah's, I was just chilling.
That's a really good sentence to start out
Such
with.
a New Orleans sentence.
I was with like just one friend. For whatever reason, like nobody came out on my birthday that year. Not because I'm an awful human being, I swear to God.
Yeah,
but we were at
They were
Harrah's.
all just quote unquote busy.
Yeah, they were busy, and we're playing the penny slots, right? As you do on your birthday, and we're just getting drink after drink, and fucking chilling at Harrah's. We'd been drinking before, and we're playing the penny slots. What the fuck happened? I was pretty drunk. We fucking got up and walked to the blackjack machines. And start playing.
Shit.
There's this guy chilling there, like maybe like 2 seats to the left of us, and we like play for probably like 10-15 minutes, and he looks over at us, like we look at him, and he just like head nods. And I was just like, "What's up, man?" I mean, as you do to people you don't know. You're like,
Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
and he gets up and like walks over. He's like, "What are you boys getting into tonight?" And I'm just like, "Oh, it's my fucking birthday, bro. Like, hell yeah, what are you getting into?" And he's like, "Well, man," he's like, "let me tell you this." He's like, "I fucking own stake in a marijuana company in Colorado." He's like, "Look."
Shit.
He's like, "I spend $750,000 here every year." He's like, "I fucking have all the points and like I'm part of the Platinum Club." He's like, "It's your birthday?" He's like, "Do you want to fucking hang out in the Platinum Club?" I was like,
What?
"Yeah." So he brought me and my buddy back to the Platinum Club, and we're just sitting there getting like top shelf liquor, fucking like smashing lobster rolls. That's the only food I can remember from there. So never had lobster rolls before that or after. Dude, just crushing them. And he's like, "All right, bros." He's like, "Here's what we're gonna do. Like, we're gonna go down. I think like Beats Antique or some shit was playing like down the street." And he's like, "We're gonna go to Beats Antique, brother." And I'm like, "Oh hell yeah, I'm down with that fest shit, bro." And he fucking like calls an Uber Black. And we fucking like go outside. We're waiting for it, and that's where I blacked out. Right?
No. Like pre the best night of your life.
Yeah. And so
Potentially.
woke up back at my parents' house. My buddy was there.
Were you living with your parents at
I
this
was living
time?
with my
Okay.
parents, so it's cool. It's not like I just like showed up there. I guess they didn't know that I had come back, which was good. But I
Yeah.
think my buddy like carried me into the house and fucking just like
Oh,
put
like
me on
wedding
this
style?
futon. Yeah, dude. Just brought me in, and he's like, "Yeah, man, like you passed down that Uber Black and started throwing up, and they kicked us out." The guy was like, "Fuck this,"
Yeah.
and I brought you home. And I'm like, "Well, I ruined the best night of my life with fucking drinking. We could have balled out, like full up, like hangover style, if that shit was real. Because if you get that fucking drunk, you don't ball out like that. You don't go do cool shit, man. You just fucking throw up all over yourself in an Uber Black, and the coolest guy you ever met hates you." It was awful, man. I could have made like a cool connection in the marijuana industry and be working up there on a farm right now.
You wouldn't be talking to us at
Yeah,
all.
definitely not.
I'd be talking to fucking Bert Kreischer. I couldn't think of a comedian.
Joe Rogan.
I was
the
just
guy
like-
who's like known for weed.
Yeah,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah. I'd be talking to old Joe, the guy
Joe.
who I love so much.
And then, yeah.
Dude, you
Yeah,
could have
man.
had like a completely different life.
He could have literally like there was like a fork in the road at that point, right? Like left is what I'm doing now, and right is just balling the fuck out, like straight up hanging out with Brad Pitt, Matt
In
Damon,
fucking
Leonardo DiCaprio.
PJs.
Weed money, dude. Weed
Yeah.
money, dude.
God.
I've bought in stock in like different marijuana companies,
me too.
and like they're doing well.
Dude, I made fair amount of money on it.
Yeah, and like little $10, $5 stocks.
Dude, yeah.
Like if you wait a few weeks, they're here's a free tip for America. Everyone listening, buy wheat stock.
Buy them, dude.
Yeah,
and
buy
you can buy
wheat
'em,
stock.
small increments at a time, dude. It builds
Yep.
up to like $100, and all of a sudden you made fucking $200.
And here's the thing: buy it before it gets legal federally. Once it gets legal federally, that's when it's going to be IBM it. It's gonna
100%.
Shit.
Yeah.
Weed stocks are a smart buy. I know you guys are listening for stock tips right now.
Welcome to Stock Tips.
Stock tips.
My other stock tip, Devin.
I would love to start a stock podcast with John Stockton. Only like it's like stocks with John Stockton, and he's like, "Why am I here?" I'm like, "It's alliterative."
He's like broke post career. He's like been really bad with money.
Oh no, God! You know he did. Wait, was he in Space Jam? No, that's Sean Bradley.
Yeah. There's Sean Bradley.
Yeah,
The podcast would have to be called Stocks on Stocks.
Stocks on Stocks with John Stockton.
John Stockton seems like he's probably like reasonable with money. I feel like he lives modestly. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who this is.
He's the dude who played for the Jazz with Karl Malone. He's a fucking point guard. He's like the all-time assist and
He
steal
was
leader.
the Kevin Nash of his time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if that makes any sense.
I don't know sports.
Good for you.
I have one more story.
Go.
And it's very short. But it's I was living in Baton Rouge, and my friends were having this the zodiac sign party. So essentially, you come dressed as your zodiac sign, whatever your interpretation of it is.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool. Like there's people who are like dressed as fish, but like
rams, fairies.
Yeah.
You just go as a dude in glasses with a handgun. You know what I'm saying? Like the Zodiac Killer. That was a bad joke.
I was waiting.
Bag over your head, and you go kill people in a park.
Yeah. Exactly.
So my contribution to this party was a 24-pack of High Life and a bottle of Wild Turkey.
Oh yeah.
You said Wild Turkey. That's why it reminded me of Wild Turkey.
Yeah.
So I was like, this was before I had was married or anything, and I had like this huge crush on a girl, and she was not having it. So I was like, fuck this party, and I drank all 24 of the beers and the 5th of Wild Turkey. And literally, like, the last sip of the Wild Turkey is the last thing I remember. I woke up the next morning at someone else's house who I didn't know, on the floor, soaking wet.
Ooh.
And it was like some weird, like, murder mystery as to, like, what had... Because it wasn't, like... It was, like, 3 blocks away from the house that I was at.
Yeah.
So I probably walked there, but how did I get soaking wet? Why was I on the floor? And it was like a weird variation of the clothes that I was wearing, like earlier, because like my shirt was tied around my fucking waist. My pants were rolled up. I wasn't wearing socks, but I had my shoes back on, and it was. So I still to this day have no idea.
Whoa.
What happened that night?
Dude, somebody... I feel like there are people that would do that. You know what I'm saying? They just like get you soaked and leave you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing weird other than like pouring water all over you just to like fuck with you later.
You smelled yourself, obviously, right?
Yeah,
just to
but
double
it was
check.
it was like water.
Yeah,
like it wasn't like gasoline or anything.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fucking crazy. But the reason I bring it up is because I told somebody this story, and at the end of the story I was like, so have you ever woken up wet? Like, as to be like, I'm a better drinker than you, because I was kind of drunk. And then I started saying, like, I want to be a Def Jam comic. And, like, you gonna wake up wet is, like, my catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
And, like, I get like this whole auditorium of people. And then it's like, y'all ever go to a party? And you get so drunk and then
wake up wet.
That's like the fuck, dude. I want that so bad.
That is now a dream of mine.
Yeah.
Now that you've said it, I've successfully.
I'm gonna make wake up
dream.
wet shirts. So get ready for it,
dude.
That's how you know if like a party's good.
Yeah, I'll rock a wake up wet shirt.
Yeah, because like you're getting so drunk, you're gonna fucking wake up. You
gonna wake up wet.
Yeah. So I guess that's the end of the show.
Yeah, goodbye.
Man.
Charlie, tell us about your show. Tell us about. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Well, I'll let you explain.
It does involve alcohol. This is a show where I like hand out beer before and during the show, and I do drink during the show. So I am currently the past 3 years I've been going around the country, and then whatever city I'm in. Doing the show. I do a show called GUMP with your pal Charlie Davis, and what I do, I reenact the entirety of the film Forrest Gump all by myself. Every line, every nuance, like every character, like all by myself. And the tagline from like the main movie is like life is like a box of chocolates, blah blah blah. Well, like that's essentially the premise of the show I do, because I have how the show works. I have a box of chocolates, and underneath every single chocolate in this box is every single scene from the movie. And so basically, I don't know what scenes I'm going to do. Like, whoever helps me stage manage or direct the show that day, they put in all the scenes just randomly. And so I start out, I will do the first scene in order and the last scene in order. In terms, so it's like not just like totally jumbled. Like there's, bookends.
Right.
And then in between, it's just anyone's guess. So I can go out to the audience and someone will pick a scene. It'll be, scene number whatever. Lieutenant Dan, you got new legs. And the very next scene could be the, dear Lord, make me a bird. And I'll do, and I don't shy away from like the really intense scenes either. One time, I don't know if y'all were, because y'all seen the show before.
Yeah. A few times.
So
it's great, y'all. Just so you know.
It's a great show.
Wait, no. I don't know where I was. I think I was maybe in my hometown or maybe here. Someone drew a scene, and it was like the one where Mama Gump dies, and then the next scene was drawn was where Jenny dies, and then the very next scene was like when Bubba dies. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, man. Yeah, and so it was just like, all right, shit, like, but like, and that's there's never been a show where like the same scenes have ever been drawn in order. Right. And then I have about an hour and a half to do it, hour and 15. And it just lower your standards if you ever see it. But it's fun. It's fun. I've been really lucky to do it. I used to live in Chicago for about 4.5 years, and it was developed up there, honestly, just like as a post New Year's Day, like drunk, and hanging around smoking with some good friends. And my nickname up there used to be Forrest Gump, because my accent comes out when I'm either stoned or pretty drunk. And so my accent, I guess if you were to classify it, is a North Mississippi like hill country accent. And the little kid who played Forrest Gump, and I'm hating myself for forgetting the name, he is from Holly Springs, Mississippi, which is only like 15 minutes outside of my town.
Oh, shit.
And then I got a story about, Boo's story, if we do have time, about Holly Springs, but later on. But when Tom Hanks was researching the character, he was trying to figure out the accent. How did Forrest Gump talk? And he would hang out. He would hear the kid playing Forrest Gump, his younger version, and he was just like, all right, there it is. And so he would just like, the kid isn't putting on an accent like in the movie. He's just talks. Speaking as the good Lord made him, I think. And this that North Mississippi upbringing, and so that's essentially what like. So, anyways, they would call me that. I tell you that long story to tell you that's what they would call me sometimes. And we were at this party.
That's what they would call you sometimes.
Occasionally.
What's up, Gump? It's like every once in a while, I have a short list of people who call me Chuck. Because it's like, definitely when you meet me right off the bat and I tell you my name is Charlie and then you call me Chuck, that's the incorrect name, even though that's a variation of Charles.
Right.
It's just like, all right, I told you what I wanted to be called, but you call me something else because you thought you're cool and clever. Oh, hey, Chuck. Dude, no, like I seriously have like 5 or 6 people I allow.
Dude, people do that to my dad. They call him Chuck, straight up.
Yep.
It's just I know he doesn't like it.
No. So, anyways, like they would call me Gump, and I think they were asking why they call me Gump, and I was like, I don't know. I guess I sound like him, and I just started like rattling off quotes, and then it was to the point where I was like doing whole scenes and like acting them out, just hungover as all get out, and then they would just like start calling out scenes, and I would do it. And Matt, who's there. Matt Wills, he's a director and member of a band called Stop Thrust, I think. Up in, I think that's the name of the band, up in New York. Do check them out. But no, like he's a director, and he was just like, all right, let's make this a show. I'm like, deal. And a few theaters in Chicago really bought into it. Former Public House, the Public House theater that is no longer there, unfortunately. But they were the second ones to do it. Bug House was first, and Public House gave me a residency, and then I've been touring around with it around the country. I was in a few Midwest towns last year. I was in Kansas City, and my mom's ex-fiance showed up, and not really, and because he was a nice guy. Well, like her fiance from college, and then his wife, and it was like it was really neat. But like at first, it was kind of awkward because it's like. Okay, cool. Like, I thought I'd never ever meet this person, but let's talk about. I'm like, how are the Chiefs doing this year? They do rattled out for 30 minutes. I'm like, this is a good guy. That's
why you need to learn about sports.
Yeah.
It's
that's why I'm watching Game of Thrones. So I have something to talk about with people.
Well, yeah,
I'm about to be on that train too.
Yeah, I'm watching it. Like I'm catching up hard, but it's like. It's one of those things like if you just I don't know what it is. I might be on the spectrum, which is probably why I know the whole movie. But like I mean a little like give me and you can try this out like right now. Get out your phone to Google. Like I can give me any like major college. I can like tell you its mascot and colors, and then or the big party trick I do is like give me any country and I will describe its flag in like detail.
That's
or
fucking
like
crazy.
Send me a flag emoji and I'll like tell you what it is like right away.
Oh shit! What about? Oh fuck! Wait, I got it. Madagascar's flag.
Madagascar's. So it's gonna be. So the three colors are white, green, red. Now the white is gonna be on the left hand side. It's gonna be vertical, and then I believe it's like green is horizontal right. And then red on the bottom. It might be inverted, but the white is going to be on the left-hand side.
What about the flag of Sealand, dude?
Sealand? Oh, Sealandia? The little principality? Yeah. It's like, I know it's like black. It's like a reverse Trinidad and Tobago sort of flag.
Oh, shit.
But it's something like white, black, red because it's a principality. It's not even it's a micronation.
Yeah, so I looked up the Madagascar flag and that's what it is.
Oh, it's a hippo and a lion and a giraffe. I like to move it. But double check to see if it is right.
No,
like the alternate Madagascar, not the movie poster.
I did look up the actual flag, that was correct.
But they've
I looked
adopted
up
the movie
Madagascar
poster.
So I was right on
You
that
were
one.
very right. Yeah,
give me a college.
Oh shit! What about
UCLA?
UCLA, they're the Bruins.
Easy.
They're like kind of sky blue and gold. Yeah. All right, but you're a sports guy,
dude. Fucking what about FAU, dude?
Florida Atlantic. They're the Owls. They're red, white, and blue because America. I guess. Yeah. But try another flag. Like do one really quick.
Oh, another flag. What does the flag of
Paraguay?
Oh,
Paraguay.
Nice.
Paraguay is going to have the Paraguayan seal, kind of in the left-hand side, or more closer to the center. Red on top, white, and then like kind of a blue-ish, or I think it's like red, white, blue, kind of going horizontal.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, man.
Dude, that's incredible. That's uncanny.
So this isn't like for the listeners. This isn't a bit. We're not sitting here with like a list of flags.
Yeah,
he's actually like spouting off the actual That's fucking amazing.
This makes me want to break my like not drinking spell and get drunk with you and scream about flags.
No, do it. Like I get even better. I will go into the history of like the flag. Like in the third grade when they were teaching math, I would just like just read the back of the children's encyclopedia. Because it had all the flags, and I'm like, oh, colors and shapes and stuff.
Cool, bro.
Hell yeah.
Fuck math. I'll never even knew that.
Yeah,
so yeah,
those fucking flags.
But speaking of flags, the show.
I was gonna say so you have a couple of dates coming up, right?
Yeah, I'll be traveling around a good bit. About to get busy here in the summer. I will more than likely be performing in a couple of festivals coming up here in the fall, but I do have a guaranteed show coming up here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, at the Palace Theater in Chattanooga. It's a beautiful city if you've never been. East Tennessee is gorgeous, and I was going to do their show last year. Just to be honest, had kind of like a tough few months mentally. Took a break, which is always good to do.
Hell yeah.
And then they were very kind enough to be like, all right, we'll have you back. And so if you live in the Chattanooga area or want to go to Chattanooga because it's a really cool city and they have a really cool aquarium.
Ooh.
They do. No. Dude, the Tennessee Aquarium is...
And it's like in the Appalachians?
Yeah, but lower Smokies, technically Blue Ridge. Someone can connect me.
I want to go. That sounds dope.
Blue Ridge Mountains over in Tennessee. Fleet Foxes. Sorry. Definitely didn't smoke weed on the porch earlier. No.
So you have social media, correct?
Social media, yes. I've got to start updating my Twitter. It's at GUMP YWPCD, and I maybe have 3 tweets on there over the past 2 years. But if you want to follow me on that, you can. My personal Instagram, I kind of use it for documenting my food and updating shows. That is at @thatcharlie. But I do have a Facebook page that I do keep up with dates and updates with the show. Just GUMP with your pal Charlie Davis. And so more details are going to come about the show is going to start at 8:00 at the Palace Theater, Chattanooga, June the 1st. But more details with ticket prices. Usually I keep tickets around $10. Sometimes theaters charge a little bit more. That's totally fine. You do get a free beer. Or you get at least the potential chance to drink a free beer depending on how much beer I can buy. And then I'll definitely have some shows coming up in New Orleans this summer, talking with a couple of theaters, just looking at availability and they're in the works. And also I help produce Front Yard Entertainment's Backyard Show. That's actually coming up this weekend at a secret location. I will be doing stand-up there, doing a quick set. Yeah, come on. There's usually really good food. It's in a beautiful backyard.
It really is.
I will kind of give away the neighborhood, the Lower Garden District.
Right.
But beautiful, historic. There's food pop-ups usually, a little art maker market, and it's a really chill environment. Somebody tried to shoot a firework into the backyard last month. Yeah. Speedo, who works at Juan's, just know we're watching you. I mean, there was a drag queen who was doing a performance at the show, 6'3". Her name is Sunshine, and she almost beat his ass. Oh yeah. But
so it's
anyways,
a fun show.
It is. No, yeah, come on out to that, people in New Orleans, and then I'll just stay tuned for details on that.
Yeah, we'll post your Facebook page on the episode, so people can go to you to that.
Yeah.
So we have yeahdeed.com, YEAHDEED.com. It's kind of the hub for all of our podcast, videos, event dates.
Yeah, we got blogs and shit. Yeah. Dude, we got blogs that are dope, dude.
Hogs of blogs, my dude.
Hogs for the blogs, baby.
Hogs for the blogs, my dude. We're going to cook up this fucking croissant.
If you don't live in New Orleans, there's a big annual charity event called Hogs for the Cause, and now you get the pun.
Hell yeah, brother.
And then all of our social media stuff.
Oh, yeah, dude. We got fucking, we got fucking Facebook. That is my other buddy, Devin. We've got Instagram. That's my other buddy, Devin. And we've got a Twitter. That's my other buddy, Dev. But you can just search my other buddy, Devin. It'll pop up, dog. And we got some funny-ass videos up on there. We also got some cool-ass, bumper videos that just advertise us. If you want to, smoke a little herb and fucking listen to cool synth pop that I found somewhere and just Stole the rights to. I didn't
Yeah.
steal the rights. I just don't have them. But you should. You
It's
should
not
fucking.
stealing if you don't have it.
It's just clips, okay? And these people are probably dead. These songs came out in the 80s, all right?
Right.
Just think about it. But look, we have a show coming up on May
18th.
18th.
Bank Street, boy.
Oh my God, it's going to be wild. Hopefully we can get guests. You want to get guests this time?
I think we have 2 guests.
Oh.
But it'll be TBA for now.
TBA. We'll figure it out. And
we'll see.
it's always fun. It's always live. People get fucked up in there, dude.
Hell
it's
yeah.
crazy, but like in a cool, fun, friendly, safe way.
Right. And I promise that we will have pins at this show.
You'll get free pins.
I've said this since January that we're going to do this every month, and I've done it one time.
Yeah.
I'm
I
an
mean,
idiot.
everybody loved him, dude.
Yeah.
Saw a guy with the pin. It was
Did you?
It was that guy Chris's birthday like a
Oh,
month
wow.
ago.
Oh,
he walked up
shit.
with dollars pinned with my other buddy Devin pin. He's
That's
like,
how
I
do
had
it.
you in mind.
That's
I was
how
like,
you
ooh.
fucking do it.
For people who don't live in New Orleans, when it's your birthday, you get dollar bills pinned to your shirt.
Is that not
Yeah.
a thing?
No. Well, like it is in other parts of the South, but like,
You can also do that when it's not your birthday.
Yeah,
yeah,
It's
put a
called
pin.
Stealing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
If you're super broke.
Yeah, just
Right.
One
walk
weird
around with,
trick.
like, $4 pinned to you, and people start pinning money to you because that's tradition.
And as long as you don't smell bad, people will believe you.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fucked.
yeah,
Because there's a lot of gutter punks in the
Yeah.
quarter, like, it's my birthday. I'm
Hey,
like,
man.
oh, for 4 days in a row? Like,
Yeah.
cool.
Are you gonna finish that beer?
Yeah, you don't have to give me $1. You can just give me cuts on your cigarette.
All right. So yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
Oh, also, side note, your roommate was making a really delicious meal during the whole time. That was the noise.
It made
Oh,
me
yeah.
so hungry, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go drink and eat some food.
Yeah, fuck
That sounds
yeah.
great.
Dude.
All right. See y'all next week.
Thanks for having me, y'all.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yeah, definitely. Bye. This has been a Yeah Deed Media production. For more info and content, go to yeahdeed.com.